How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech. Today I'm gonna explain you why your iPhone isn't compatible with Apple Intelligence. Okay, so first things first, we have to talk about generative AI as a whole. In normal generative AI like ChatGPT, they use remote cloud servers to do the real work. So all the calculations, the algorithms, and things like that. So when we actually ask ChatGPT to do something for us, what happens is most of the work is actually done in the cloud. So it's done on their servers, all right? So that's why we need internet connection. So then they do the real work and they just send the actual answer to our devices. So none of the computing is actually happening on our devices. That's why we can use ChatGPT on any device that simply has internet connection. But that's completely different when we're talking about Apple Intelligence, because Apple Intelligence is actually based on on-device computation. And Apple decided to go that route pretty much because of privacy. So instead of sending all your data, all your stuff to some cloud, right, that can be in theory accessed by a lot of companies, no, all of the calculation, the algorithms and everything like that, all of your data and all of the equations and everything that happens when the AI is thinking and working is actually happening on device. So it's happening on your iPhone or on your Mac, your iPad, and so on. And of course, this is great for privacy because no one can actually have access to all of those tasks and calculations. It's all encrypted end to end, just like Face ID and Apple Pay and so on. So it's super safe. But of course, because of that, we have a problem. Since it's all on device, we actually need quite a lot of processing for Apple Intelligence to work. And that's why a lot of older iPhones, pretty much all iPhone models, aren't compatible, because in order to Apple Intelligence to work and run on your iPhone, you actually need two things: a more powerful NPU, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, and at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. So an NPU is a neural processing unit, and on the iPhone is actually called a neural engine. And just to make things very clear, is a processor that's actually designed for tasks like machine learning and AI stuff as a whole. So just like your CPU is your processor, your GPU is your graphics processor, your neural engine, so the NPU as a whole, and that's where we actually have a problem, because the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max NPU is actually 2 times more powerful compared to the iPhone 15, the normal 15. And on top of that, it has 2 extra gigabytes of RAM. So the iPhone 15 series, it actually has 6 gigabytes of RAM, and the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, they both have 8 gigabytes of RAM. So those two things alone are the reason why, the explanation why the iPhone 15, 14 Pro, 14, and going back, all other older iPhones just aren't compatible with Apple Intelligence. They simply have 6 gigabytes of RAM or less, and also they have just not powerful enough NPU. So that's why they just can't handle all of the on-device processing tasks and demands of Apple Intelligence. And that's why also some older iPad models, for example, the M1 iPad and the MacBook Air M1, like this was released in 2020 and they got Apple Intelligence, but they have 8 gigabytes of RAM, therefore they can actually run Apple Intelligence. So always think about that: RAM and a powerful enough neural engine, which is an NPU. That's why your iPhone won't be getting Apple Intelligence. I know that's a bummer, but now you know why you won't be getting it. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, all iPhone 16 models, all of them get 8 gigabytes of RAM. Even the entry-level 16 and 16 Plus, they both get 8 gigabytes of RAM, all right? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next videos, guys. Bye-bye.